beware, my lord of jealousy, it is the green-eyed monster which doth mark the meat it feeds on. William Shakespeare, Othello. Hello everyone, and welcome to Shakespeare with Kylie. Today we will be interviewing an expert on William Shakespeare, Brenna. Shakespeare was a playwright, actor, and an English poet. She will be giving us a deeper look into The Winter's Tale, a play consumed with jealousy and doubt between a king and a queen. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Brenna.
Thank you everyone.
Hello and welcome to Shakespeare with Kylie. Thank you for joining us today and taking the time out of your busy life to educate my audience on William Shakespeare. Can you tell me a little bit about him?
Yes, William Shakespeare was born on April 23rd in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon to his parents John Shakespeare and Mary Arden. He attended King Edward V Grammar School in Stratford, where he learned Latin, Greek, and read many Roman dramas. He was 18 when he married his beautiful wife, Anne Hathaway. Anne and him had a daughter, Susanna, and two twins, Hamlet and Judith. Hamlet died at age 11, and in 1592 he began working as an actor. So he had a lot of work and he left his wife to raise his two children. As time went on, he started to fall in love with poetry, and he wrote his first poem, Venus and Adonis, who he dedicated to his close friend Henry Worlesley. He began writing many more and published a lot of different plays.
That's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about his play, The Winter's Tale?
The Winter's Tale is based on a work of prose fiction called Pandoso by Robert Greene. Pandoso is a romantic novel. In the novel Pandoso, the king of Bohemia and his wife Ballerina are victims of the goddess Fortune. In the story, there are elements of mistrust, suspected adultery, fears of illegitimate births, and the reunion of parent and child. Eventually, the queen dies following the news of her son's death. Pandoso commits suicide following his deep feelings of guilt. The Winter's Tale was written in 1609 to 1611. The first recorded performance of the play was at the Globe on May 15, 1611, and later that year it was presented at the White Hall before King James I. In 1613, the play was presented as part of the wedding celebrations of James' daughter Elizabeth to Frederick V, later King of Bohemia. It was printed at the end of the comedy section in the first folio in 1623.
In Act 2, Scene 1, jealousy and mistrust strikes between King Leontes and his queen Hermione. Throughout the narrative, there are a ton of important characters. The six most important ones are Hermione, Leontes, Mamillas, Polixenes, Antigonus, and Paulina.
Hermione is the virtuous and beautiful queen of Silica who is falsely accused of infidelity by her husband Leontes. She dies of grief just after being vindicated by the Oracle of Delphi, but is restored to life at the play's close.
Leontes is the king of Silica and the childhood friend of the Bohemian king Polixenes. He is gripped by his jealous fantasies, which convince him that Polixenes has been having an affair with his wife Hermione. His jealousy leads to the destruction of his family.
Mamillas is the young prince of Silica, Leontes and Hermione's son. He dies of grief after his father wrongly imprisons his mother.
Polixenes is the king of Bohemia and Leontes' boyhood friend. He is falsely accused of having an affair with Leontes' wife and barely escapes Silica with his life.
Paulina is a noble woman of Silica. She is fierce in her defense of Hermione's virtue and unrelenting in her condemnation of Leontes after Hermione's death. She is also the agent of the dead queen's resurrection.
Our last main character is Antigonus. Antigonus is Paulina's husband and is also a loyal defender of Hermione, the queen of Silica.
The play starts out when King Leontes begs his childhood friend, King Polixenes of Bohemia, to extend his visit a little longer. Polixenes hesitates since he has been away from home for almost 9 months.
Leontes' pregnant wife leads Polixenes to stay. This makes King Leontes rage with jealousy. Leontes then believes Polixenes is lovers with his wife.
Leontes is enraged and orders his servant Camillo to poison his best friend. Instead of Camillo following through with the king's orders, he warns Polixenes and flees Silica.
I know too well. Give me the boy. I'm glad you did not nurse him, though he does bear signs of me. Yet you have too much blood in him.
What is this? Sport?
Bear the boy hence. He shall not come about her. Away with him, and let her sport herself. With that she is big for. For this Polixenes has made thee swell thus.
But I'd say he had not, and I'll be sworn you would believe me saying, however you lean me to the Naworth.
You, my lords, look on her and mark her well, but be about to say, she is a goodly lady. In the justice of our hearts will thereto add, 'tis pity. She's not honest, honorable. Praise her, but for this, her without door form, which, on my faith, deserves high speech and straight. The shrug, the hum, or ha, these petty brands the clum doth use. Oh, I am out, that mirthy does, for commonly will see her. Virtue itself, these shrugs, these hums and haws, when you have said she's goodly, come between ear you say she's honest, but be known from him that he has most cause to grieve it should be she's an adulteress.
Should a villain say so, the most replenished villain in the world, he who has much more to me than a villain, you, my lord, do but mistake.
You have mistook my lady Polixenes for Leontes, O thou thing, which I shall not call a creature of thy place, less barbarism, making me the precedent. Should a like language use all degree and mannerly distinguishment, leave out or betwixt the prince and the beggar? I have said she's an adulteress. I have said with whom. More, she's a traitor, and Camillo is a confederacy with her, and one that knows what she should shame to know herself, but with most vile principle, and that she's a bed swerver, even as bad as those that Volyers give bold titles, and privy to their late escape.
By my life, privy to none of this. How will you grieve to you? When you shall come to clear knowledge, you thus have published me. Gentle, my lord, you scarce can write me thoroughly, than to say you did mistake.
There's some ill planet reigns. I must be patient till the heavens look, with an aspect more favorable. Good, my lords, I am not prone to weeping as our sex.
Commonly are, the want of which vain do, perchance shall dry your pities. But I have the honorable grief lodged here which burns, worse than tears drown. Beseech you all, my lords, with thoughts so qualified as your charities, shall best instruct you, measure me and so, the king's will be performed.
Shall I be heard?
Who is it that goes with me? Beseech your highness, my woman may be with me, for you see my plight requires it. Do not weep, good fools, there is no cause when you shall know your mistress has deserved prison, then abandon in tears, as I come out. This action I now go on is for my better grace. Adieu, you, my lord. I never wish to see you sorry. Now I trust I shall. My women come, you have leave.
Go, do our bidding. Hence. Brenna and I will be filling you guys in on how the play The Winter's Tale ends.
After King Leontones throws his wife in prison, the queen gives birth to a little girl, and her loyal friend Paulina brings the baby to the king, in the hopes that the sight of the child will soften his heart.
Although he only grows angrier and orders Paulina's husband, Lord Antigonus, to take the child and abandon him in some desolate place. While Antigonus is gone, the answer comes from Delphi. Hermione and Polixenes are innocent, and Leontes will have no heir unless his lost daughter is found.
As this news is revealed, word comes out that Leontones Mamillus has died of a wasting sickness brought on by accusations against his mother, Hermione. Meanwhile, falls in a swoon and is carried away by Paulina, who subsequently reports the queen's death to her heartbroken and repentant husband.
Antigonus, meanwhile, abandons the baby in the Bohemian coast, reporting that Hermione appeared to him in a dream and bade him to name the little girl Perdita and leave gold and other tokens on her person. Shortly thereafter, Antigonus is killed by a bear and Perdita is raised by a kindly shepherd.
16 years pass, and the son of Polixenes, Prince Florenzel, falls in love with Perdita. His father and Camillo attend a sheep spearing in disguise and watch as Florenzel and Perdita are brotheled. Then, tearing off with disguise, Polixenes intervenes and orders his son to never see the shepherd's daughter again. With the aid of Camillo, however, who longs to see his native land again, Florenzel and Perdita take ship for Silica using the clothes of the local roach, Autoclius, as a disguise. They are joined by the voyager by the shepherd and his son, a clown, who are directed there by Autoclinus Silica Leontones. Still in mourning after all this time, greets the son of engaged, and the whole company celebrates the miracle.
To be a diplomatic mission from his father, but his cover is blown when Polixenes and Camillo too arrive in Silica. What happens next is told by a gentleman of Silican court. The shepherd tells everyone his story about how Perdita was found, and Leontes realizes that she is his daughter. leading to a general rejoicing. The entire company then goes to Paulina's house in the country where a statue of Hermione has been recently finished. The sight of his wife's form makes Leontes distraught, but then to everyone's amazement, the statue comes to life. It's Hermione, restored to life as the play's end. Paulina and Camilo are engaged, and the whole company celebrates the miracle.
One of the more important themes of The Winter's Tale is jealousy. Leontes has a sudden fear that his wife is pregnant with his best friend's baby. This sparks jealousy through Leontones and makes him act out in harsh matters.
Another important theme of The Winter's Tale is forgiveness. At the end of the play, Leontes is reunited with his daughter, and they end up forgiving each other and moving on as a family.
One last important theme of The Winter's Tale is suffering. Mamillius falls ill and dies when his mother is in prison. This shows that Mamillius was suffering from sadness and grief of his mother not being present. Also, Hermione dies of a broken heart, exemplifying her suffering. Lastly, Leontes suffers for 16 long years from his belief in his decisions.
The importance of this play is to show comedy and give a happy ending. Throughout this play, a lot of problems strike that leave the characters in heartbreak and denial. The characters in this play face a lot of adversity, but push their way through, showing courage and resilience. Harold Bloom was an American literary critic and the Sterling Professor of Humanities at Yale University. Bloom states that The Winter's Tale is one of Shakespeare's richest plays since Antony and Cleopatra, and prefers it to the more problem-practical Tempest. He wishes it wasn't categorized as a romance and wishes it could be a no genre. Brenna and I really enjoyed reading and acting out the play The Winter's Tale by William Shakespeare. We found it very thrilling and at other times very comedic. We appreciated the suspense and the romance aspect. We personally enjoy this play more than Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth because of all the different aspects that this play offers.